Hey guys, it's Megan Lorson. I'm back with another video for you guys today. So a question I get asked a lot, and just something that I always was curious about and didn't fully understand when I was going to cosmetology school, first starting out doing hair, and honestly I feel like even the first couple years of being a licensed hairstylist, I didn't fully grasp the concept of foil placement and what is the hair gonna look like if I do horizontal foils versus vertical foils versus diagonal foils. And I would look at a picture and kind of question, how do I achieve this look that the client's showing me, and which foil placement do I choose? So I'd kind of just take a random guess, or I would just stick to the good old basic foiling that I learned in school. We did everything in 4 quadrants and foiled up the head this way and foiled up the head this way, and if we did horizontal foils, we only did weaves and vice versa. So there wasn't a lot of variety, and now I am 8 years into the industry being a licensed hairstylist, and I will tell you, I foil all different kind of ways. Every single client gets a different foil pattern. I am not like a system person. I just know how the color is gonna lay now. I know what type of look I'm trying to give my clients, and I know exactly when they show me a photo what I need to do to achieve that look. So I'm going to show you guys today. This is just going to be a very simple foil demonstration. I can definitely elaborate more on this. I can make more videos on this, but I just wanted to show you guys. I'm not going to be toning her. I'm just going to be showing you the foil placement. I'm going to rinse her out, dry her, and then I'm going to show you guys what it looks like after. And by the way, I'm in the process of redoing my office / studio room. I've got some big changes coming in my life. I got a little baby due April 1st. Literally, I'm 10 weeks, you guys, away from my due date. It's so insane. It's like flown by so fast. But anyways, I'm filming this video in the middle of like chaos. I'm literally looking at a room that looks like it just blew up. So when I finish, I'm gonna give you guys a tour. It's gonna look so good. I'm so excited. Literally, I'm painting the whole entire thing white, and it's gonna be super cute. It's gonna be a really bright, inspiring space. So I will be sure to show you guys what it looks like when it's finished. Just stay tuned for that video. And also stay tuned for my life update video. I think a lot of you guys will actually find it helpful and interesting, especially for those of you that are maybe like becoming first-time moms, or you are a first-time mom, or maybe you're already a mom and you're having your second, third, or whatever. I think you guys will find it interesting and helpful, so stay tuned for that video too. All right, so I'm gonna be showing you guys 3 foil placements today. I'm gonna show you guys horizontal foil placement, I'm gonna show you vertical and diagonal, and I'm gonna make them really thick and dramatic so you guys can really understand. I was at a hair show, probably, I don't even know, a couple years into being licensed hairstylist, and somebody gave me a visual image while I was sitting in a class at a hair show that made me just understand foil placement. And I feel like that's happened to a lot of us. There's just something, if someone says it a certain way, it just clicks. And I will tell you that with color in general and learning color theory, color placement, and color formulas, it takes time, but eventually things just start clicking. And sometimes it takes that one person to say a certain thing, or it takes that one class where that person demonstrates a color technique and it just clicks with you. And I remember, I can think back to certain occasions and things would just click, 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 and I'd be, you know, over time it's like, wow, okay. So the first foil placement I want to talk about is horizontal. So think about a sheet. If you were to lay a sheet over her hair, it's going to completely cover it. So we're just going to go ahead right here in the front of her head, right here. We're going to take a horizontal section straight across. Nice and clean. I'm going to clip this hair out of the way. So imagine if we just placed a sheet over this. It would fully saturate and cover this whole side. So I'm just going to take a nice, clean, horizontal section straight across. You guys can see that. And we're going to fully saturate this. I'm going to go ahead and just take it a little bit thicker just so we get it nice and thick so it really, you guys can really see what it's gonna look like. By the way, I'm gonna be using Paul Mitchell's Synchro Lift Plus on her. Oh my gosh, you guys, I just love this stuff so much. It's my holy grail lightener. I use it all the time on all my blonding clients, pretty much. Yeah, I just love it. So I've already got it mixed up, and I'm gonna be mixing it with 30 volume just because we're gonna be doing a few foils. So we're gonna start off with the horizontal one. I'm gonna take my foil, and I'm also using my Pro Stick. You guys, I talk about this so much in like so many of my videos. These Paul Mitchell Pro Sticks are amazing. You can get them on the paulmitchellpro.com website. If you're a licensed hairstylist, you can create an account on there. And oh my gosh, there's like a pack of 5 or 6 of these, and they're antimicrobial. So if you drop them, you don't necessarily have to worry about throwing them in the barbicide. I use them literally every single day on every single client that gets foils, balayage, any of that. So it helps me to section the hair, fold the foils. I mean, it's just, and I can always keep it in my hand. It just helps me work a lot faster, and it's such a great tool. So I'm just gonna make sure I get this really saturated. And we're just gonna go like all the way up to her root. Like we're literally just gonna paint it on her root. Now I will say, I almost would never do this foil, like a horizontal foil in someone's head straight up like this, unless they wanted a block of color, they want a peekaboo of color, like maybe around their hairline or something. I almost would never. Again, it depends on what you're doing. But with your typical like blonding services, the natural looks, the very feathery, baby light type of looks, I'm typically not gonna go for this horizontal foiling technique. So, just throwing that out there. I'm gonna feather it just a little bit so it doesn't actually bleed onto the other side. All right, so we got that nice and saturated. So that's gonna be our horizontal foil. And I'm just gonna fold it up, and we'll just lock it in, and then that'll be our horizontal placement. All right, and then I'm gonna go right beside this horizontal foil, and we're gonna just do a vertical foil. So literally it's just gonna be straight up and down. There's no diagonal whatsoever, it's straight up and down. So if you guys can see right here, let me go ahead and get the sectioning. We're just gonna go straight up. All right, I'm gonna take a nice thick section that's pretty thick, only for you guys to really truly see it. You guys see straight on, I'm running into stuff. Okay, so there's our vertical section. So I'm gonna go ahead, take my foil, we're gonna place it this way, straight up and down. And we're just gonna go ahead and saturate that really good. Get it nice and saturated. Now this is definitely a foil placement I use a lot. And realistically, when I'm doing my blonding services and foil services, I'm not taking my strands quite this thick. I'm simply doing this to show you guys the technique and to really make it bold and stand out once I wash her out. That way you guys can see it really good on camera to get the idea of what it looks like when you do this foil placement versus this one versus the diagonal. And we're just going to feather it in the root. I don't want it to bleed onto her other hairs. So if you guys have any other video requests that you would like me to make, please let me know in the comments. I constantly have an ongoing list of really awesome video ideas that I get from you guys, or things that I think of, or when we have apprentices come in our salon or different things like that. I always jot down or pull out the notes section in my phone and write them down, because I'm like, oh, okay, that person wants to learn that. I know other people would. Plus, I also just come up with my own ideas of things that I truly want to learn and know about people. And sometimes I search for them on YouTube and I try to find other videos that I just don't see a lot. So then I write those down, because I feel like if I think of those ideas and I want to know, then surely someone else does. But if you guys have any videos you'd like, let me know. I see all your comments and I have been writing down all your video requests. I'm very, very busy in the salon, and so it's super hard to sometimes be consistent with making the videos. I do try to put one out every single week. I'm gonna be able to hopefully be a lot better about that. I'm actually not gonna be in the salon anymore after I have the baby, which is what my next video is gonna be about. So like I said, stay tuned for that and make sure you're subscribed if you're not already, so you don't miss out on that video. But that just kind of happened about 2 weeks ago. It's a big surprise for me. Not surprised, but my plan originally was to take 2 months off maternity leave and then return back to the salon. And as many of you guys know, my mom and I opened the salon together and have been running it for the past 6 years together. So it's a big part of my life, and I am letting it go. My mom is fully taking over, but there's lots of other exciting things coming. So like I said, stay tuned for the next video and I'll give you guys an update on all that. All right, so we got our horizontal placement, then we have our vertical, and now I'm gonna do a diagonal. So I'm gonna like go right off of that vertical section, and we're just gonna take a diagonal section. Now I am slicing all of these, and there's so many different variations of foil, so we could easily do each of these foil placements with a weave and think about how a weave would change it up. Now I do a lot of horizontal foiling like this, but I weave it. So I'll do really tiny fine weaves, and I do a lot of my baby lights that way. And I'll do horizontal sectioning, really fine baby lights, and it makes a really pretty soft, bright blonde. So I do use the weaving technique a lot. All right, so here is our diagonal section. You guys can see it's clearly on a diagonal. So I'm just going to slice that also. And I'm gonna take this a little bit thicker than I normally would for any of my real life lightning services, if you want to call it that. And I'm just going to place my foil right there, and we're going to fully saturate. I'm just going to watch them, let them get really light, or just light enough where you guys can really tell what it looks like with each foil placement. And then I'll wash her out, and like I said, I'm not going to be toning her or anything. This isn't like necessarily like a pretty video tutorial technique. It's just simply to show you guys foil placement and hopefully help you guys understand foil placement a little bit better, because I feel like once you know that, you really can take off and really specialize in specialty color and specialty foiling, and you can really up your service pricing and things like that when you really begin to understand what you're doing and why you're doing it and how it's going to turn out before you even finish the hair. That is such a good feeling when you get to that place. And it's such a good feeling to be able to look at just about any picture that a client were to bring in and just be like, oh, okay, I know what foil technique we're going to do. I know how we're going to achieve that look. Instead of panicking like, oh my gosh, I hope this turns out the way I want it to. And yeah, we're just gonna wing it, because that is never a good feeling. So, all right, we got our horizontal, our vertical, and then our diagonal. I'm gonna let her process for a little bit, wash her out, and then I'll come back and show you guys the after results. All right, so we just finished the foil placement. I just finished washing her out. So I'm gonna separate them all so you guys can see. All right, so here is our first foil placement. Let me scoot her a little bit closer so you guys can take a good look. So this first one right here is our horizontal section. So you guys can see how the color is gonna lay if you just do a horizontal foil slicing straight across. You can see that there's not a lot of that dark peeking through. It's like I said earlier, it's like a sheet of color. So it's as if we laid a white piece of paper over, and there's really not, it doesn't allow for a lot of that darkness to peek through. Yes, you can see it, but not much of it. It's mostly that solid blonde, which this is like a brassy blonde. And again, I didn't tone it, so it's driving me crazy, but that is our horizontal placement. All right, I'm gonna clip that out of the way so it doesn't get confusing, so you guys can see our next foil placement. So this was our horizontal right here. It's a skinny little strand, and you can see it's just very piecey looking. So again, I use this vertical placement a lot because you guys can see it just creates a nice piecey look. And then you've got your darkness right beside it, and then you've got a strand of lightness. So this is our vertical placement right here. All right, and then I'm gonna clip this out of the way. And then this is our horizontal placement right here. So I'll comb through it so you guys can see how it lays. And then I'm gonna put a little bit, a thin layer of dark over it so you guys can see how it lays with the other color. So when you do diagonal, it does allow for some of the lightness and darkness to peek through. So I hope this little tutorial helped you guys, showing you the different techniques and helped you visualize foil placement a little bit better. If you enjoyed this video, comment below, let me know. Make sure you subscribe if you're not already, because I got so many good videos planned for you guys. And as always, you guys can find me on Instagram at megan.lorson. Post lots of educational videos on there. And you guys can let me know if you have any other video requests down below. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.